What's up, everybody? This is Alex Kelly back here with another episode of the Furloughed Film Talks podcast with my brother Ryan.
Hola, senor.
How are you, buddy?
Oh, I'm doing fucking great.
We've been doing show prep for the last couple of minutes, so we're very in tune with each other for our 147th episode. Ryan, we're almost to 150.
Dude, we're gonna be there like 2 weeks from now. 3 weeks from now.
We
By the end of the year, we're gonna have
oh my god, yeah,
150 episodes. What are we gonna do for our 150th episode?
I was just thinking, who get power rank? Who are the people you would want back on for 150th episode?
Just you.
Oh,
only you, my little brother.
Just me. But seriously, who would you want for
I
Ben
don't
Matheny?
know. Yeah, I mean the usual cast of characters. Get Kirk Acevedo on. Let's branch out. Let's try to get like some new guests.
Or maybe get back on Nick Loeb.
Yeah. Call Nick Loeb. See if
he'll hop on for this shit.
He's got to be, in good spirits after the Republicans didn't do very well last week.
I thought you were going to go with a banned abortion, but yeah, no, you were going with the fact that they did not keep the Senate, and it might not look like they are going to keep the House, but we'll see what happens there.
Yeah, they should keep the House, but definitely was not what they were expecting. And
no.
Yeah.
Political talk.
Oh, my fiance's here.
Hey, Marina.
Marina!
Come here.
Come here. Come. Yeah. Come. Why not?
This episode's already off to a great start. Okay. Marina now has
Marina's gone. Oh, no. Come on.
Marina,
come on.
You got to
feel like I'm trying to get Max into the house.
Because you have the French Dispatch poster behind you. This has to be a thing now.
Anyways.
No, we got a fun episode today.
Hi. Marina says hi.
Marina, hello. She went and saw both the movies that we're going to be talking about today.
Yeah.
I can't remember if she saw the one a couple weeks ago. She did. We're going to be talking about Black Adam, movie starring Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, and also Pierce Brosnan. That movie came out a couple weeks ago. We're going to get around to finally reviewing that. But we checked out what is now the darling sensation of the movie world, Black Panther, Wakanda Forever, as Kamala Harris would say. We're just getting real political in this episode. Mm-hmm. We'll be talking about that. We checked that out Saturday. I've got the Black Panther for people who are not home and are listening. I've got a Black Panther Namor Funko Pop to my right. So we'll be diving.
What's the one below it? Fright Night?
This I've talked about that before. This was the Funko thing they do. They do like a fun box.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's all full of goodies. I actually sold a couple things out of this and made all my money back. So
oh, cool. And you're just gonna keep the box?
Yeah, well, I also have, and I can't really get to it. I don't remember. Well, hold on.
That's okay. Yeah, I don't think our audience really.
Oh, they care.
They care. Okay.
This was the big one. This is worth $80.
How much was the box?
$130.
Dude, Funko's just printing money, aren't they?
Oh, but they're like stock fell, and they're like not doing great right now because they keep just putting out bullshit items.
Really?
Yeah, it's been bad kind of as of late. But no, like this one, this was like the main thing out of the box. This is worth $80. I sold like.
What is it?
It's Freddy Funko as Nosferatu.
Yeah, but who the fuck is Freddy Funko? Or
Freddy Funko is like the mascot of Funko.
Okay.
And Nosferatu is a horror character from like the 30s, which they're about to remake with, I think it's Stellan Skarsgård as Nosferatu. But no, I sold like 2 or 3 items out of that box, and it recouped everything that I had paid for it. So,
dude, Funko fucking crashed today.
Yeah, today?
Yeah, I know it lost like 7% today.
Oh, Jesus. I knew they lost either like 5 to 10% like last week or the week before. Like they have not been doing well lately.
Huh. Well, anyways, okay, that's the finance. Yeah, they've lost 9% in the past 5 days.
Yeah, they're not doing well.
That's not good.
But they just like greenlit a Nosferatu movie, which is why I held on to this one, even though it's like the most expensive one that came out of the box.
Mm-hmm.
This is going to jump up in value whenever that movie comes out, to where this is going to be like a $200 grail. So,
Oh, damn. Okay.
yeah, like it's already $80.
Oh,
And
look at you using big collector words like
yeah,
grail.
grail,
Oh,
holy grail. And
like,
I have it in a box that is like hardcore versus like, well, I found this the other day, my Dustin. Yeah, I'm not going to grab anything else, but
is that a sign? Is that the sign, Dustin?
no, that was Argyle. But
Oh, right. Okay.
yeah, Funko stuff. So, where the fuck were we? If you are interested in this podcast, more Funko finance political talk and not movies, check out our Instagram at Furloughed Film Talks, or our Twitter for however long it lasts at Furloughed Film.
Or our YouTube channel for Love Film
Yes,
Talks
where this episode will be posted for your viewing pleasure, where you can actually see the Nosferatu
that we're talking
Funko
about. Yeah.
and the Namor Funko Pop and all
Are we
my.
gonna? Sorry, go ahead.
No, you first.
No. Are we gonna pay for Twitter Blue? We're gonna
They
get
don't
that
even
check mark.
offer it. They don't offer it.
What are you talking about?
They took it down.
Are you serious?
Mm-hmm.
Fuck, dude! I just checked it like a couple days ago. Oh my god, that sucks.
After the like bullshit with Lily Brand and what else was there? All the different people getting impersonated and their
It was
stocks
Lockheed
crashing.
Martin, Lily, whatever.
Yeah. Chakuta, not what's the fucking banana brand?
Oh god. If you just
Chiquita.
Chokita.
I don't know how to say.
I was
it.
invested in that company for a little while. I made good bit of
Were
money
you
off
really?
them. Yeah.
The fuck?
I don't know. Yeah.
George Bush and Tony Blair were pretty pissed off about all that happening.
Yeah, I don't blame them. I mean, I would if I was
It's
an
the stupidest
advertiser.
thing ever.
Yeah, if I was an advertiser on Twitter, I'd be like running for the hills. But
Well,
as
and like
a nobody on Twitter, I think it's pretty cool that you can
that's
pay for it.
hilarious.
Yeah.
But like the what's it called? The biggest like advertising company that like basically advertises for like McDonald's and some of the biggest companies out there basically told all their like people that they like work for to that they're cutting off like advertising for Twitter, that you should just not do it.
It's probably a good idea, honestly.
Yeah, it's a really good idea when people are impersonating your brands and just like crashing your stock and impersonating literally former world leaders. So that's our opening segment, is more political talk.
Fun times. Anyways, so before this, we were talking about. Oh, I was gonna go back. Never mind. So before this, we were talking about the movies. We were kind of excited, and I didn't realize that Fabelmans was going to come out next week. This week we got The Menu. Bones and All is coming out next week. That's probably a limited release. The Timothy Chalamet movie that everyone lost their minds about at Cannes. That will probably come out sometime in December. Violent Night is coming out December 2nd, which I'm super stoked about.
Power rank the movies 1 through let's say 3, but if you have 5, what are your most excited movies for these next couple months, Ryan?
So I would say number 1, Violent Night.
Okay.
Number 2, number 2, Bones and All.
Okay.
Number 3, Fabelmans. I think.
All right.
I'm not seeing anything else in December that I'm like, hold on, let me roll through. Oh, no. Number 3 is definitely The Whale.
Thank you. I literally was writing down The Whale as like number 1.
Yeah, I'm like scrolling through everything. Okay, so Violent Night, Bones and All, The Whale, Fabelmans, then The Menu probably, then Glass Onion, and then Avatar.
Oh,
Avatar's way down there, dude. I'm not at all like really. I give a fuck about it now. Like,
I just had to like redo my entire list.
Like the exact thing that everyone was worried was going to happen with Avatar, I think has happened with me. where like yes, in 2008 or 9 when that movie came out, the graphics were like fucking fantastic. But now like any old movie has like good graphics.
Nah,
Like
dude.
this story is gonna have to be like really badass to be like a good movie, right?
I still
They
think
don't
that.
have the originality of like the first movie. They don't have the amazing CGI that was groundbreaking of the first movie. Like they're really gonna have to do something out of the ordinary, which I don't know. I'm just more excited for those other like kind of more original movies to come out rather than a sequel of something that came out fucking 14 years ago.
I still think the CGI that is in that movie is like heads and shoulders above anything else that like we're seeing right now,
Nah,
which
there's
is
no way,
why
dude.
it's number 2 on my list.
Okay.
The Whale is number 1 for me. Like
Okay.
I am so freaking excited for my boy Brendan Fraser to like kick ass and get his best actor
I low
award.
key love have you turned into like a straight up like memorabilia collector. This is not the
Oh yeah.
trajectory I saw your life going, Alex. I
Yes,
have to be honest.
we have all this shit.
Yeah.
This is what happens when you sit around and have to listen to people. Dude, okay, we're gonna take a fucking uh side road for a second. I had a kid today, literally out loud in the front of the entire class because they're doing self-selected research. So they're
Okay.
supposed to research somebody they think is successful, right?
Okay.
He goes out loud. How is I don't get it. How has he been born in? It says he's been born in 3 places. He was born in 3 places, and I'm like, what? Like, are you like? Is it on a Wikipedia page? Like, what? How? I walk over. He goes. It says he was born in 3 places. It fucking said Memphis, Tennessee, United States.
Jesus. This
I
this is some important context real fast. You're a school teacher for 6th to 8th graders. No,
no ninth to tenth
ninth, ninth
graders,
and 10th graders.
soft freshmen and sophomores.
What the
And
fuck?
this kid literally saw Memphis, Tennessee, United States, and thought this motherfucker had been like born in 3 different places.
Yeah, this nation has no hope whatsoever.
Dude,
Like we're doomed. We're
it took
100% doomed.
it took everything in me not to yell out, "What the fuck are you talking about?"
Did you
Like,
explain it to him?
yes, I was like, all right, Memphis is the city, Tennessee is the
Mhm.
state, United States is the country. And literally, I look over at one of the other kids at the table and he just goes, and I'm like,
What was the person he was researching?
some fucking rapper.
Wow. How many kids picked either the Kardashians or Elon Musk?
In one class too, I really was like trying to be as hands off as possible because like they
Mhm.
need to understand how to like do research. But
Okay.
in one class, there was an Elon Musk person, and then there was a girl in another period who, which is this is bad, but like couldn't find anything on Kylie Jenner and
Hmm.
was like, I don't want to do her. And I'm like, there's like a lot. There's a
There's a
lot.
lot. There should be a lot out
There's
there.
a lot on Kylie Jenner you could find.
Was some of it like blocked by the firewall or something? Like,
No, she just didn't know what to look for. Which
uh,
is part of my job, I guess.
yeah. Okay, so I'm so interested that we should talk about this more later, but that's fucking incredible.
It was
I know what I was gonna mention.
okay.
Did you
Sorry,
see who fucking Pete Davidson's dating now? You see this shit?
Emily Ratchford or whatever.
Emily Ratajkowski?
I don't know how to say her last name.
Ratajkowski.
Cool. Who I don't. I've seen her face. I don't know who that is.
She's the girl that got molested in the Blurred Lines video.
Oh, wait.
Yeah. With
Was
what's
she
his
in
face?
Uncut Gems?
Yeah, I think so.
She's not.
Uh
She's not Kanye West's. Who was Kanye West dating for a little while? That
like way
like
back in the day?
no. Like a couple months ago, that like blew up, and like she was trying to like she's basically gold. It
Oh, it wasn't her.
wasn't her.
It was,
Okay.
yeah. No,
I don't
she's the
know this
chick that
shit.
like Robin Thicke like was super drunk at the music video for Blurred Lines and like fucked with her.
Okay,
Um,
no, I know who you're talking about now.
I mean, whatever. Pete Davidson's. We shouldn't be surprised at this point, but I'm still every fucking time I'm shocked. But good
Nice
for
guys
him.
win, I guess, or people with huge dicks.
It's not even that, dude. It's not like no. It's like he's got that personality. Like
Yeah,
I think that's what it is. And probably a huge dick. Probably slings a dick.
yeah. Anyways, my number one most anticipated is The Whale, followed by Avatar: The Way of Water, and then The Fablemans, Glass Onions, and then the Minions. God damn it, the menu. Uh,
I was like, there's a Minions movie coming
no,
out.
I keep every time I fucking you're about to say it, I think you're about to say a Minions movie, and I get really excited, and then I have to
Mhm.
like temper my expectations. Uh,
That's why you get that glazed look whenever I mention the menu.
100%. I'm just like
Okay,
Minions and
that
bananas.
makes sense to me.
Um, no, memorabilia collection. Yes, I have very hardcore fallen into Funko Pop collecting, I guess.
Yes, I see that. I kind of restarted the Pokemon business. I've been killing it with the sales the past couple weeks.
Was there a new release or what's been going on?
No, I just had all this fucking product that I'd like taken everything down back in like April because I was just like
Mm,
super busy with work and whatnot. Now that
yeah.
I have more time and started listing everything, I sold like $1,400 in the past like 3 weeks, just worth of like
Damn,
random
bro.
shit. Yeah, and I've been listing like the least expensive of all my inventory, and I'm getting like 80 cards back from CGC like either later this week or next week.
Dude, you remember when I was telling you that Funko was, or the people that's like the big Funko like grading thing,
Hmm.
they just partnered up with PSA.
Yeah, PSA just announced that they're or just like opened up their submissions for Funkos.
I think that's a mistake.
Why?
I think because so it's called Pop Price Guide, so
Okay.
PPG. There was some thought that PPG was going to like do their own grading system.
Yeah.
I think they should have done that instead of like partnering with PSA.
Yeah, I don't know. That's a lot of work and like infrastructure
Yeah.
to put together to do your own grading service, though. It's not a walk in the park.
No, I think
Um,
I'm not saying I thought it would be. It's just like to have the thing that everybody goes off of for like value,
mhm.
to have that also be like a grading service, that would have been next level. Like you'd have been the Funko PSA. You would have been able to do something very
Yeah.
different. So
Yeah, I don't like do you even think Funkos should be graded though? I'm like that
yes,
okay.
here's why. Like I'm gonna find it real fast. Hold on. There's a Batman that I have, and you talk about whatever you want to talk about for a second.
Okay. I'm just going through like the PSA website. I guess they are doing their grading exactly like they do for cards. So
Yeah.
they're going to have a scale from 1, which represents poor quality, all the way up to 10, which is gem mint quality.
Mhm.
Um, and then they're going to do 0.5 intervals, except for between 9 and 10, which they'll just have a 9 or a 10. And then below that, they'll have like 8.5, 7.5, yada, yada. I don't
So
know. Like, it
here's
just
the thing
seems
with your cards, like what is a mint to near mint card? It's something without scuffs. It's like perfect, no tears, right?
well, okay, so it has to be perfect centering. So like, the blue or the yellow bordering around the card,
Yeah.
it has to be like exactly equal around the card, perfect centering. The surface has to be perfect, so no scratches, no dinks, none of that. Um, Here I don't have one with submarines around me, but what are the other ones? It just, I mean, it literally like to get a 10, it has to be a perfect fucking card. And like even a card out of a pack, if you like literally took a card fresh out of a pack, put it right into a sleeve and right into a card saver and shipped it to PSA or CGC, like I would say less than like 1% of those are going to get a 10
Yeah.
because it has to be printed perfectly. It has to be handled
Yeah.
perfectly. It has to be perfectly centered with no like print lines or anything like that. So, but the thing with cards is like it's actually kind of difficult to display a Pokemon card or a sports card without
Mhm.
having it graded. Like you can
Yeah.
get, your own little plastic case you can put it in, but it's not really not gonna look as good if you have it like permanently encapsulated, not just
Yeah.
like a screw top case, right? But with Funkos, you're like they're naturally ready for display because they're like in the box. And they're also like I have to imagine it's fucking impossible. It's kind of like comics. It's like impossible to get a 10 because like a Funko like goes through the manufacturing process. It gets like
Mhm.
physically put into a box and then it's shipped to a store. That store takes the box, opens it, takes the Funko box out of the box and puts it on a shelf. And then from there, you pick it off the shelf, you put it through the cashier, you take
Mhm.
it home. Like, God, the number of like ways it can get fucked up, it's like worse than comics. At least like comics, you'll have like 20 in a stack, right? But yeah, like it's so easy to fuck those boxes up.
I fucked this up on my own. I had a bunch on like a wall over here and it fell off. And this is one of the like Funkos. It's a Batman Funko, 1989 Funko.
Oh, and it even like fucked up the top of the box.
It fucked because I dropped it and it ripped the top. So this is like a 4 or 5 at this point. But like the Nosferatu one that I have came in perfect condition. There's nothing wrong with it. So I immediately threw it into this thing, which is like hardcore, like
Mm-hmm.
really good protection for it. No, I mean, it all comes down to what are their specifications going to be for like a 10 or a 9.5? Like,
Yeah, and like exactly
what's the box?
what on the box are they grading? They
Yeah.
grading like so that the plastic is like not scuffed at all, perfectly clear, like every single corner is perfect. Like what exactly do they grade? Oh, they actually have a scale here. So
And that's the thing, like the film thing at the front, like that has to be non-scratch. With like that scares the shit out of me with this like Daemon Targaryen one, because like this is in perfect condition and this will be a
mhm.
grail at some point. So like I'm really worried about like fucking this one up because this could be worth a lot of money. And you don't have the one with egg, but you have the one without egg signed. That is going to be worth $600 in about a year.
But
Whenever
without what on it?
you have the one without the egg, this is the one
What's
where
the egg?
he's holding an egg in this Funko right
Oh,
there.
it's like a dragon egg.
Yeah, the one you have
Gotcha.
is where he doesn't have an egg, but it's signed by Matt Smith. When
Hmm.
that next season rolls around, your Funko is going to be worth like $600.
That's kind of cool. I might send that in to get
Oh, 100%.
graded.
No, like
Yeah.
because what they're going to do is it's not only going to be like graded for quality, but like then verified for signature,
Well, yeah, so you can
authenticated for signature.
there's three different like tiers. You can get pop grading for 39 bucks, which is just grading the box itself or just grading the Funko. And then
Mhm.
for $64, you can get the Funko grading and then they will authenticate an autograph. And then
Exactly.
for $74, they'll grade both the Funko and the autograph.
Yeah,
So like that's like super fucking expensive though. Like
it
honestly,
is.
$39 is like I send my cards in because I've got like a like member
Yeah.
discount, but every card I send in the CGC is $13.50. So
But
like
like the thing is,
it's also a lot less to handle, right?
yeah. And it's different. I guess it would be a whole lot different if you didn't know it that it had been signed, like it hasn't been authenticated and you bought it off like eBay or something, but like you were right there when he signed it. So like
Mm-hmm.
it probably would be a little different for you. Like throw like so do the say the last two for the signing, like how much it would be.
So it's $64 just for them to authenticate the autograph, and then
Mhm.
it's $10 more. It's $74 for them to grade the autograph.
What do you mean by grade the autograph?
I guess just grade the quality of it, right? Because like if it's
That's
a
bullshit.
well, not really, because like say I took the Matt Smith Funko directly from the signing and send it to PSA, like that's gonna get a high grade, as opposed to like if I've handled the box a bunch and like the signature itself gets scuffed up and whatnot, then
Yeah.
it's gonna be a lower grade, right?
Yeah.
This is interesting too. Like so for a mint 9 grade,
Hmm.
um, it may appear perfect at first glance, but upon closer inspection, you may find 2 to 3 minor but visible imperfections. Examples of such flaws would be a very light scratch on the window, light indentations in the cardboard, a frayed corner, a small amount of sticker wear or residue, or a corner fold that isn't perfectly square.
Bro, that leads me to, so they had a Zeus figure for Thor Love and Thunder.
Hmm.
They sent them out with the New York Comic Con sticker on them, and they weren't supposed to have them. So I found like 3 or 4 of those in Denver where you can tell they ripped the stickers off.
Oh yeah. Anything you get at like movie training company or well, like anywhere you buy it where
This was
they
at Target.
I know, but like where they stick on the price, like on the box in the window, you can't get that fucking graded because you would have to take the price off.
No,
You
no,
know what I'm
no.
saying?
What I mean is they had put a New York Comic Con sticker on them, shipped them to Target. Target got them, and then Target got a message from New York Comic Con, and everybody else was like, they're not supposed to have the stickers off. So each store had to rip those stickers off. So you can find them with like the sticker residue. Where like if they had left those on, those would have been grails because they would have been the ones that should not have stickers on them.
Oh yeah, no, I get what you're saying. That like
Yeah.
that really sucks. But what I'm saying is like if you don't get a Funko directly from like the original retailer,
Oh
all
yeah.
the ones you get at like movie training company, you wouldn't be able to grade because you'd have to take the price off the window,
Mhm.
and it would leave residue. Like yeah, it's really be super difficult to kind of buy Funko secondhand to
Mhm.
grade. Where like buying Pokemon cards and sports cards, like basically, I would say way more than half of the cards that get sent in for grading are bought off the secondary market,
True,
right?
true,
It's
true.
like,
Yeah, because I bought some Office Space Funko Pops, and they like I haven't taken the like original price tag and then the clearance price tag off them because it's gonna leave just awful residue on like the box.
mhm. There may be something that you can do because, like, since the box is plastic, there may be something you can do to like clean it.
Yeah,
But
well, and that was the craziest thing about oh god, it was when I was going to get I'm gonna say Argyle. I don't remember the actor's name now from Stranger Things. The person that was the handler gave me a like cloth thing to like wipe off the clear part of the Funko Pop to have it
mhm.
ready for him when he's signed.
Well,
So
that's
like
good.
they know that that's what they want.
Yeah,
So
it's a huge thing in the Pokemon grading world right now, where like people have been, and they're not even caught. There's a company that offers a service for you to send your cards to, and they'll
mhm.
like clean them and like mark them up to get ready for like grading.
Seriously?
Yeah, and everyone's like losing their goddamn mind because people's like, yeah, you're altering a card at that point,
Yeah,
and like,
you're
yeah, and it's like the grading companies will automatically reject it or like ban you from getting stuff graded if they find out you're like altering cards.
that's
So there's probably a slippery slope with Funkos too. Like how much alteration can you do to like the window or like cleaning of the boxes, right? So like
yeah.
it's a lot harder with Funko boxes too because you can like it's cardboard and it's exact edges. It's not like a rounded edge like a Pokemon card, which is a lot harder to like trim and make look perfect.
Mess it up. But yeah. No, there's Funko talk right there.
Alrighty, our little collector's edition.
We are now back where we're going to talk about a movie that came out a little while ago, kind of lit up the box office, but we are talking about Black Adam, the new DC EU DC movie, DC films. I don't know what the hell they're calling it at this point. James Gunn is taking that bitch over. Doesn't matter. It stars Dwayne the Rock Johnson in a role that he has been working on for over a decade now. Ryan, do you have a synopsis for what happened in this fucking movie?
I'm gonna have to look one up. And before we get into
Cool.
that, you have to remind me to talk about the Secret Wars thing that you retweeted. Um,
Which one?
When the one about Kevin Feige like contacting everybody.
Oh yeah, supposedly he is trying to hit everybody up to be in the Secret Wars movie. I guess it's called Secret Invasion.
Yeah. Anyways, we'll talk
No,
about it
Secret
when we get
Wars
to
movie.
Black Panther. Because you know
Cool.
who there's one person he can't get into Secret Wars.
Ryan, why?
What?
Why? Why?
What? What
Why?
do you think I was talking about?
He has a Funko Pop that just came out. It's a die-cast Funko Pop. Why would you do that to my boy Chadwick Boseman?
Maybe I wasn't talking about Chadwick Boseman.
Well, I'm gonna pull out the Jackie Robinson uh Funko Pop now.
Maybe I was talking about Robert Pattinson.
Well,
Not
he's
Robert Pattinson.
alive.
I mean Robert Downey Jr. Never mind. Jesus. Okay,
Continue with your shit.
We're good with the Funkos, Alex. No more Funkos, please. Okay, here we go. In ancient Kandak, Teth Adam was bestowed the almighty powers of the gods. After using these powers for vengeance, he was imprisoned, becoming Black Adam.
Black
Nearly,
Adam.
nearly 5,000 years have passed, and Black Adam has gone from man to myth to legend. Now free, his unique form of justice, born out of rage, is challenged by modern-day heroes to form the Justice Society
of
Hawkman,
America.
Dr. Fate, Atom Smasher, and Cyclone. The 4 worst fucking protagonists movie cinema has ever seen.
Don't you dare fuck with Hawkman and Dr. Fate.
Hawkman was lame as shit, dude.
They
Dr. Fate was pretty cool, I'm not gonna lie. But if I had to power rank this like atrocity of a foursome, like Dr. Fate is obviously numero uno, way up on the 100%, S tier.
Yeah.
And then like
Pierce Brosnan kills it.
Drop straight down to the shit tier, and that's where Hawkman, Atom Smasher, and Cyclone all reside. They were awful.
They somehow cannot do Hawkman live action well, and
I'll tell you why. Because they got a horrible actor to play him.
No,
the actor with the charisma of a dead New York City subway rat. Okay, like they're
tell me how you really feel. Holy shit!
So much better they go pulled off for the Hawkman. Same goes with the rip-off Ant-Man thing.
Atom Smasher.
Yeah.
Which you want a bit of not insider info, but like sweet DC Marvel trivia.
Okay.
So you remember when Captain America Civil War was coming out?
Yeah.
That was around the time that Legends of Tomorrow was like kicking into high gear, and DC, i.e. the fucking CW people that were doing Legends of Tomorrow and Arrow and the Flash at the time found out that they were going to do Giant Man Ant-Man version. And so they were like, you know what? We're going to cut them out at their knees. We're going to do this a couple months early. So they had the Atom, which is Atom Smasher, in the Legends of Tomorrow, and they made him be big version, which is Atom Smasher in Legends of Tomorrow.
Yeah. I remember you talking about this when Ant-Man came out.
And they were like, we're just going to do this to like kind of basically fuck over like Captain America Civil War. So like
that's the most petty ass thing.
Oh, it 100% is, but it's like my favorite fucking sword.
Guys, we're gonna put Atom Smasher in our shitty ass CW fucking TV show because Marvel has a like
$1
billion movie coming out.
Don't shit on Legends of Tomorrow. Those are some of the most fun fucking like shows out there, and they just did an amazing job with what they had. Like, but no, like I think it is wild to me because also Legends of Tomorrow, they had Hawkman in the first season with Hawk Girl, and it was just like and not just me, like the overall sentiment was, and it is very apparent because they were not in any other seasons of Legends of Tomorrow, terrible iteration in that fucking show, and they still could not really get it right with Black Adam. So like that to me was just like astounding and confounding, and I did not understand what the hell they were doing. But let's go with like the positive. Dr. Fate. really, really freaking good. And spoilers, they killed him.
Yeah, they did.
And I don't understand it.
Dude, literally the best part of the movie, Dr. Fate, he was by far the best part of the movie. They killed off. Like,
Yeah.
I would have. Oh my god, it's
Which
so
also
frustrating.
also spoilers. Spoilers. 3, 2, 1. Thought they were going to do with Black Panther. Thought they were going to kill off Namor. And I was going to be really fucking pissed if they did that shit. They didn't do that.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
happy about
Spoilers for the
that.
movie and spoilers for our review. They
Yeah.
should have also killed off Namor.
No, they shouldn't have killed off
Yes,
Namor.
they
Like
should have. Well, okay. If
we'll
they.
get to that in a second.
Okay.
But
All right.
Black Adam. So no,
Anyways,
I
okay.
just like
How bad? Sorry. Carry on.
you first.
I was gonna ask you, don't you can give me a Gendo Max head rating, but give me a little taste of just how bad this movie was. Like, how much
Oh
did
my
you want to
god.
gouge your eyes out at any point during this movie? Oh, he's taking off the jersey for this.
Dude, the first like 30 to 45, not even that. It was so frustratingly bad through the very first part of it that I didn't understand why I had made myself like watch this movie. And I didn't understand the like character choices and the writing behind it to where, and I get it from a certain aspect, you have to have this like human element to where you have to have something grounded to connect with an audience. But they did it with a character that is highly unlikable, the mom, a character who is the son who can't act, who has no real fucking connection to like anything that's happening.
Mm-hmm.
And there's no explanation for like what the fuck is going on. And it just jumps around from bit to bit to bit. And then this is my biggest problem. You have a character who's not an antagonist. He is not an anti hero. He's not even a fucking villain. He is a psychopath in the comics, and he is a bad fucking guy that you are trying to turn into an anti-hero, and you just can't, because that is not how he's written. That
And
is
you talk
not,
about Black Adam here, right?
yes, that is not his character at all. And you try to manipulate this bunch of shit, basically going to the point of the villain of the movie is the devil, and that doesn't even work. Like, none of this shit works. None of the lines work. None of the acting works other than Pierce Brosnan. Like, his acting, The Rock, is so monotone and fucking just like one dimensional. It makes no sense in any of this movie. Like, it was so infuriating to watch this movie. Like, I cannot tell you how much I'd like. It's not a Dark Phoenix. Oh my god, pick another movie that has been that bad. But like, it's not that bad.
Original Suicide Squad.
Yeah, yeah. But like,
I think it was on the par of the original Suicide
it was
Squad.
on par with like the original Suicide Squad, but it was not as bad as like Dark Phoenix. Like, Dark Phoenix was like a whole fucking like another world. But like, I dude, it was so bad, and like it just made no sense where that script was supposed to be. So I don't know. Like, I did not enjoy it at all outside of like maybe the last 20 to 30 minutes.
I found
And
it really impressive, like how they really built this movie up on it being the Rock's like entrance into the DC universe, and the Rock's just gonna like save DC movies because he's like such a great
yeah,
like
actor.
actor, and can like just catapult any fucking franchise. I barely remember, like, when I think about the entire movie, like I barely even think of it as a Black Adam movie. It was like really a story or a movie about the kid and his mom,
Yeah.
and it was really a movie about like the country or city state that they lived in versus the gang. And then like Black Adam was just like a side character to that whole kind of weird fucking like dictatorship slash
Mhm.
like government they were living under. And I mean, it was like a very veiled fucking like depiction of the US running like Iraq or the United States running like Afghanistan, right? Where we're kind
Yeah,
of like
it
seen
was
at
it was
this
supposed to be like
roaming
an
gang of
analogy.
assholes. Yeah. And then just like Black Adam is just kind of like a side character. There's like Black Adam and then the Justice Society is like this weird kind of sideshow that's happening, like kind of apart from this whole thing with the city and the gang and like the devil comes from the gang, right? So I don't know that like surprisingly, The Rock was like one of the worst parts of this movie. Like not quite the worst, but he was definitely like
He
second
was
or
not one of the
third
worst.
worst.
That kid was by far the
The
worst.
kid by far was the worst. Yeah. And I don't know, like the some of the Justice Society actors, like the Hawkman. Is that his name? The fucking Hawkman.
Mhm.
And Cyclone and dude, oh no, the worst part of this about this fucking movie was the cringe ass interactions between Cyclone and Atom Smasher.
They
Like,
were 100% trying to like set up a romance
oh
there.
my god, it was like the most awkward ass, like forced
Just over the
comedic
top.
shit I've ever seen in my life. It was like painful to watch. Okay, now I am interested. What would you give this movie on the Ginger Max Head rating out of a perfect score being 5 out of 5 Ginger Max Heads?
I've got a Sheba esque. He's gonna help me with this because he could tell I was upset. He's got his Bucky's bow tie on.
Why the hell does your male dog have a bow on?
He's a bow tie on, sir.
That's not a bow tie. That's a bow.
It's a bow tie.
I don't think so.
I'm going a solid 1.75.
Damn, son. Okay.
What would
That's
you give it?
like a full like one Ginger Max Head rating less.
I almost gave it a 2, and that
No, I'm gonna full on give it a 0.75.
it was just not good. Like I
Okay.
enjoyed the ending of it, but like I don't know. Like everything that led up to that was just so fucking rough to get through. Like it that movie pissed me off. It
Yeah.
really was not
So this
good.
is a double decker dumpster fire
Dumpster
review.
fire for sure.
Yeah. I would know like I I hope like at this point after watching this movie, I'd be so okay with like whoever. I mean, not really. Like I almost said like I'd be okay with Warner Brothers going bankrupt and like not making movies anymore. But I do want them to make like the sequel to the Batman, and I
Oh
like
yeah.
against my better judgment, I do want to see the sequel to the Joker. Um, but yeah,
No. I mean, we'll see what happens. They're definitely going in a different direction now.
like the next one is Shazam, right? The next
Yeah,
DC movie is
which
Shazam, which looks like absolute shit. Like
which like I have to preface that with I was so excited for the first Shazam, and I thought like even though there was a little bit of like campy ridiculousness in it,
it was good. It was
I
a
was
good
stoked.
movie.
No, but not only that, like I was stoked for it beforehand. Like I thought it was just gonna be like fun, and it was. This, they're way too much leaning into the childish aspect of who Billy Batson is to the point where like the kind of like popcorn moment is in the trailer, like throws a bus like I just threw a bus at a dragon. I love my life.
Yeah, it's pretty
It's not even
low
the
hanging
writing, it's
fruit,
just the
right?
delivery. It's not good. So I'm not super stoked on it, but who knows, man? Who knows what's gonna fucking happen with those movies?
Yeah. Well, anyways,
Yeah.
let's move on to like, oh, the superhero world's better half, Marvel.
Oh,
They
Ryan is not happy with this movie.
I did not like this movie. No.
We're gonna have
Uh
very differing opinions on this movie.
yeah, I would really love to hear your justification for
All right.
enjoying this movie because
Of course, we are talking about the movie that just came out a couple days ago, the sequel to what was a cultural phenomena, Black Panther. This is the first. I mean, there's only one other with Chadwick Boseman. This is the first one without Chadwick. The first one where it's not been Chadwick Boseman as Black Panther. This is Black Panther Wakanda Forever. Has really lit up the box office, has done some good numbers. Ryan, what is the synopsis for Black Panther Wakanda Forever?
So, Queen Ramonda, Shuri, M'Baku, Okoye, and the Dora
Dora Milaje.
Dora Milaje fight to protect their nation from intervening world powers in the wake of King T'Challa's death. As the Wakandans strive to embrace their next chapter, the heroes must band together with Nakia and Everett Ross to forge a new path for their beloved kingdom.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it was. That's the story. That's I mean, all right.
What about this movie angered you so?
It's not that, I mean, I don't know. Okay, so it's not that I'm angry. It's just like I'm genuinely disappointed in not only like the follow up to a like just monumentally amazing movie in the original Black Panther, but also just in the direction that like Marvel has kind of been going for the past few movies, right?
Okay.
Like this is kind of like I marginally enjoyed Thor: Love and Thunder, but this is really the third movie in the row that like has not at all impressed me from Marvel.
Yeah.
Like Doctor Strange wasn't that great. Thor was like mediocre, and Black Panther, I would argue, is not a good movie. The main things for this is just they took the plot of the movie and the storyline of the movie just in a really, really strange direction, right? Where like it always was like I okay, it's cool that there's like this African nation that was like bestowed with this natural resource that makes them very powerful, makes them like much more technologically advanced. Like, take a like remove the weird, kind of historical and cultural like implications of that, of like trying to kind of like whitewash history and like come up with this fanciful like country.
Ideal.
Yeah, this ideal of like what a great African nation would be if they only had like the right resources. That's that's one thing. But then you take that country and then you pit it against like the world powers. Like you try to like initiate this storyline that like, okay, now that, well, and of course you have to start off with, the very first like sequence of this movie was King T'Challa dying, right? The Black Panther, King T'Challa, is dead, and so they're trying to initiate this storyline of like, okay, the rest of the world sees Wakanda as being weak because we've lost our Black Panther, we've lost our king, and because of that, now they're going to start encroaching on our land in order to like kind of obtain our resources, right?
Yeah.
And so now you take in Wakanda and pitted it against the, notionally the Western powers, right? The direct confrontation that they showed was Wakanda's queen at the UN versus France and the United States, right? And it's like, okay, let's first off, that's a weird direction to be going, right? Do you really want to set off this like this? Do you want to like have a replay of just name any conflict that the United States or like the Western powers have been in? Do you really want to like in your Marvel universe replay like, the Western powers versus Afghanistan or Iraq or Vietnam or like any South American country that we ever subjugated? Like, do you really want that to be your fucking story? Because that's weird. That's weird enough. And then to make it even fucking weirder, you have a second like country that has risen up and
from the sea, basically.
From the sea, and you also are going to like your second great world power from a non-Western power just also happens to only be because of vibranium. Like,
yeah,
why is it that like the only way in the Marvel universe that like a second world or third world area of the world can produce a first world advanced like society is from this fucking like natural resource that just like it's just by chance, right?
But it's not supposed to be like an allegory to us pilfering or plundering third world countries that only for the resources that they have, like oil, and wanting to go in there and like only really take them over for
Yeah, but think of like the implications for that, right? Like
yeah.
if you're saying that's the story and that's like the world that they're building for Marvel, then what are you calling Wakanda? You're basically calling Wakanda fucking Saudi Arabia, right? We're
Yeah.
only we're only allied with them. We're only like interested in them because like
Well,
we
we're definitely not allied.
with
Wakanda.
yeah. I mean we often yeah they were like Shield was allied and like the all the superheroes from America were allied with Black Panther, weren't they?
But not okay, so I would
and
say
and and, and generally the king before T'Challa had good relationships before he got his ass blown to bits at the UN. You
well,
know,
no, because they had been so cut off from the rest of the world where they had no relations with literally anybody. And that's what got him killed was we're gonna go start to make relations with the rest of the world. And he went to that thing and then got his ass blown to bits.
yeah, but that was more of like a terrorist thing on the
Yeah,
part
but that's
of
my point is they had not had relations with anybody else, and then they wanted to start to have relations, and then he went there and got killed, which that's plot, storyline, whatever, script, screenwriting thing where you have to have that guy there to have T'Challa be the new fucking Black Panther.
right.
So,
Well, okay, so there's that like aspect of it where it's a very strange macro geopolitical like theme to be taking throughout the movie.
hmm,
Um, and then like okay, so they uh like kill off T'Challa. Like we talked about this in our last episode or a few episodes ago. Like they naturally had to do something
yeah,
to explain why Chadwick Boseman wasn't in this movie. To
yeah,
do it off screen and to only like I like made a mental note of this. Literally the only explanation that they gave for his death was like with 30 minutes left in the movie when maybe a little more than that, but like when the queen was talking to Shuri and she just said that the illness took your brother. Literally, they like just they killed him off somehow in the first like part of the movie. Didn't explain it at all, and then like kind of tried to explain it away with just saying he had some kind of illness, right? And like his heart gave out or some shit like that. Like you do that, but then it's just like then what? Then like Shuri's the main part of the movie,
yeah, which
but
is
they didn't
you got to do that at that point.
you do, but like have some kind of like I mean they did have kind of an arc for Shuri, and I was like
Yeah,
way too critical when we got out of the movie. Like I said that she was just like whining and bitching the entire movie about like all the stuff that had happened to her over the
yeah,
past few years, which admittedly, yeah, it was a shit ton. But you didn't really you just had Shuri kind of like shoehorned into the role of the Black Panther, you didn't have the full like development into the Black Panther. Like if you had told me before Chadwick Boseman had died, like, hey, you know who's gonna take the Black Panther mantle after Chadwick Boseman? It's gonna be Shuri. It's gonna be his sister. I'd be like,
yeah.
what the fuck are you talking about? Like, why would she at all be like the person to replace Chadwick Boseman as the Black Panther? Like there's there was no character development, and because Chadwick Boseman died, they had to force someone into that role for the Black Panther movie. And I feel like they did a really poor job by like forcing her into that role.
Well, that's what I'm going to go to is the very ending of the movie, and this is why I think it works really well is the ending of the movie. It made me tear up and it made me legitimately cry was a montage of her, and it's a montage of moments from the Black Panther movie, the original, but it's supposed to be a montage of her remembering her brother. And it's supposed to be this culmination of her remembering who her brother is as the Black Panther, as T'Challa, as the person that she loved. And it's supposed to legitimately be her mourning the loss of her brother. And that is supposed to be the full circle of her learning what and who the Black Panther is, what that nobleism is. And it's she goes through a true trial or hero's arc of having to deal with loss and having to deal with grief, but also having to deal with I want revenge. I want vengeance. I am pissed off. And seeing, spoiler, Killmonger as the person that she saw when she took the heart shaped herb. And so it's supposed to be that moment of, I now know what this character is meant to be. And I now know who I'm supposed to be as the Black Panther. And that to me was just a beautiful, beautiful fucking moment where it's bullshit, but like it's going to be the comp that I make. It was also on a beach, really reminded me of like the Fast and Furious fucking moment where like they were remembering Paul Walker. So like that to me encapsulates this entire movie where it's not only just an ode to Chadwick Boseman, but they were put into an impossible situation where they had to figure out how to best move on with this movie.
No, they weren't. No, they weren't because they didn't have to make another movie.
Well, they had already and I'm gonna let me just say this then. They had already announced it. They could 100% canceled it, but I think to his credit, Ryan Coogler, the director, knew that they needed to make this movie because it meant so much to so many people, the first one, and to let this legacy and whatever you want to call it die out with Chadwick Boseman, that would have been a disservice to his memory. So you had to make this movie. You had to kind of do something because, and it's full on honesty right now. Original Black Panther did not mean as much to you or me as it meant to other people.
Mm-hmm.
And that is because of our skin color. That's because of just what happened in the movie, whatever it is. But it meant a lot to a lot of people. And they needed to do something where they honored that legacy and they fucking honored Chadwick Boseman. Because if you listen to the shit he said in the aftermath of that fucking movie, that motherfucker knew what he was doing. And you hear him talk about him talking with kids with cancer, with kids with cancer, and he knew in that moment he was probably going to die of cancer and that he knew he needed to get up and do this for those fucking kids. I guarantee you, all those people on that set knew that they had to do another one, not only just for like the memory of Chadwick, but everything that he put into it. Because he spent 4 fucking years making movies with cancer.
Yeah.
And so,
Yeah, I don't disagree with that part. Like the major disagreement I think, you know, I have is like a mid-credit scene isn't gonna make up for a two and a half or 2 hour and 40-minute movie being the
oh,
rush
I'm not even
justice,
saying the
right?
mid
Like,
credit scene. I'm saying the last like 4 minutes where they do that. And not even just that, the opening very much sets you up for what these characters are going through.
mhm.
And so, I mean, I don't know, man. Like I
I think the mid like the actually the mid credit scene made me even more frustrated than anything else because like you you got to the mid credit scene and like okay like major spoilers the mid credit scene reveals that King T'Challa had a child with I forget the love interest's name but
Okoye, I'm pretty sure.
okay he has a child and the child at this point is like 4 to 6 years old something like that right. um
5.
5. Yeah. Okay. So you get to that scene, you get to that mid credit scene, and it's like the entire your entire movie is just like sitting right there, right? Like
Nyong'o.
the
My bad.
what's that?
Her name is Nyong'o in the movie.
Okay, yeah, I thought Okoye was like one of the command or
She's the
whatever.
Dora Milaje.
Uh, so like I really felt when they got to that point where they made that reveal, I'm like, dude, you had a whole movie right there. Like, what better way of like honoring Chadwick Boseman's legacy than to like not show us how King T'Challa died? Like, have it be way less like explicit in how they like describe how he dies. Work in that he has a child like from the very beginning. Have some kind of like conflict happen with that child. Don't have it be like this weird thing where Shuri gets taken to Takalan and then like
Oh, yeah.
gets rescued back, and in the process they kill one of like their people, so then Namor feels like he has to invade Wakanda, and in that process he kills the queen, and then he comes back and he like attacks again, and like Shuri has him on the ropes, and in my opinion should have killed him. Like, this dude is out for blood. He killed your mother, and he is like explicitly said he's going to destroy your fucking nation because it's a threat to his. You kill that fucking person, right? She should have killed him, and then like, but she doesn't, and then she comes back, and they're both like, "Hey, we're gonna do fighting, like now we're gonna work together." Like,
But I think,
I'll,
and that's the thing. We haven't talked about Namor, and we'll get to him in a second. Like,
and let me wrap that thought up real
sorry,
fast.
sorry, sorry,
Like,
sorry. Sorry.
like they then like are or say they're gonna work together, and then it's kind of like the outro scenes of them doing the ceremony to like elect or like pick their new ruler, and Shuri doesn't even fucking show up. Like, how do you become the Black Panther and you're not gonna like the hereditary line would have made her the queen of Wakanda. Like, to not have her also be the queen of Wakanda is like a complete dereliction in both like the writers and in like that character's judgment, right? Because like I I have known nothing about the Black Panther comics. I know nothing about like all the different characters, but
Mhm.
it'd be like really fucking weird if the ruler of Wakanda and the Black Panther had ever been like different people. They talk about how like they've had the Black Panther for several centuries. Like,
Yeah.
I'm almost certain that the Black Panther has always been also been the ruler of Wakanda,
Oh,
right?
100%. Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
like to have Shuri just like shirk her fucking duties like the Olympic gymnast at the gym is like, I'm just gonna take a mental health day today, and I guess I'm not gonna be the fucking ruler. I'm just gonna go, fuck off to Haiti for a bit, guys, and we'll let the backwoodsmen come and like take the throne. Like, all there's just so many things in this movie that leaves you scratching your head of like, why the fuck did they do this? And then like you have this awesome new character, Namor, and like he's in what 20 minutes of the goddamn movie. Like, in the parts of the
Yeah.
movie that he is in, like 90% of it is just either him with Shuri or fighting Shuri. Why he didn't have like an independent storyline is beyond me. Like, I don't know. There's just so many like tiny little paper cuts that make this movie not enjoyable.
Not bueno.
No bueno. Yeah, let's talk
No,
about Namor.
I loved Namor. Like
Yeah,
Namor,
Namor was badass. Like, best part of this movie, honestly.
yeah, like Namor was one of the best to me, one of the best parts of this movie, and the like tragic backstory, but also like, and this is not gonna make me sound like I like the movie, but like almost Martha moment, which like let's call it that, where like Shuri didn't kill him because it was a Martha moment where she remembered the stuff that he had told her about his mom, and then she could hear, and that's the breakthrough moment. She could hear her mom from the ancestral plane, and so now she's not only like believing in the ancestral plane, she is hearing it and thinking about her own mom and why he has done that. That to me was like such a great like character moment between the two of them that I thought that like I thought that was an amazing moment in the movie. But like that action scene between fucking Namor and Shuri at the end was fucking crazy. Like that fight scene was insane.
That was definitely the best part of this movie was the like different action scenes that they put together. Like
Mhm.
especially with the juxtaposition of the like Namor's army coming out of the water versus like
Bro, yeah.
like those different scenes were really fucking cool. But the problem is like to have a great like the way they made great Marvel movies in the past was you had amazing action sequences paired with characters you really cared about in
Yeah.
storylines that made sense, right?
Mhm.
Like in this, you have great action scenes. I would say marginally you have characters that you care about, but then you just like end the movie in the most like dumb way possible, right? To have them like in that fight scene and then they just show up back and there were so many like
Yeah,
fucking
that was I didn't like that where they're just like side
the
by
hanging
side.
off the side of a ship, like, hey guys,
Yeah.
stop fighting, please. We're like, we're all cool now. And everyone's like, oh, thank God, like this is getting real dicey here. That was dumb. One thing, like, how the fuck did they even get back to the ship, right? The
Yeah, because he
thing
was
that
about
they
to die.
not even that, but like she got stabbed through the abdomen. He
Yeah.
was like on the verge of death. The fucking craft that they got to the little desert on blew up. Like,
Oh yeah,
how
I guess I
literally did
didn't
they
think
get
about
back to
that.
it's so dumb, dude. It's just so dumb. Like
Yeah, I guess
there
I didn't
was
think about the fact that that thing that they like flew in on was like blown up.
it literally was blown up for her to try and kill him.
Yeah, that's a plot hole for sure.
There's many plot holes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Ryan,
Um,
what would you give Black Panther Wakanda Forever on a max Gendo head rating?
I would give it a 3.25.
I'm gonna lower my rating then. 4.25 for me.
Well, no, what was your
4.5.
that's high. That's steep.
I really, really enjoyed this movie. I thought it was one of the best like MCU movies that they've done. Definitely the best. Would you say it's the best of Phase Four?
Does phase four include No Way Home?
Yes.
Fuck no.
Okay.
Are you high? Like
All right. I'm gonna revise my statement then. Second best of Phase Four.
what all is in phase four so far? It was Spider-Man, Doctor Strange,
Black
uh
Widow.
Black no, I would say Black Widow is second.
What the fuck?
I liked Black Widow was really good. I like Black Widow.
That has one of the worst CGI moments I've ever seen in a movie.
It does, yeah, but it's so great. Like
Mhm.
that's why I'm so excited for a Violent Night because like literally what's his name? Derek Harper?
David Harbour.
David Harbour. Yeah, yeah. He can
Derek Harper
carry
played for the Mavericks.
whatever. He can carry any fucking movie. Like
Yeah,
literally.
true.
Now, phase four, I'd probably go No Way Home, Black Widow, Thor, then maybe Black Panther, and then Doctor Strange. Because like Doctor Strange is definitely worse than
Doctor
Black.
Strange was a clusterfuck.
Yeah,
Yeah. Cool, 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 Ryan.
yeah, good times.
This is why I
I'm
like.
glad that we're getting away from the superhero season and we're getting into real movies because holy shit, it's been a slog this year.
Yeah, it's been a rough one, but we're getting back on track. We'll have Ant-Man and the Wasp. I don't know if it's Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania. I think it might just be Ant-Man, Quantumania.
That will be nice because we're gonna get back into these movies actually like having some
Yes.
meaning to them just beyond their own storylines
Yeah.
because it will start tying into I
The
don't know we got
overarching
yeah what's the guy's name
Kang the Conqueror.
Kane the Conqueror, that's gonna be fun.
Mm.
um Plus, you need to go see Banshees and Insurance because that was a fantastic movie. I
Yes, I'm
love
putting that on my list. I didn't have it on my top five. That's probably number one, actually.
major spoilers for that movie. If you don't
Don't.
stop recording your other podcast, I'm going to start chopping off my fingers.
Oh, I saw that in the trailer. He was
Was
like,
that in the trailer? Yeah.
he was like, if you don't stop talking, I'll start cutting off my own fingers. So I'm assuming he starts cutting off his own
It's
fingers
not an
now.
empty threat, I'll tell you that.
Oh, fuck yeah. All right, cool. Finger aside.
It actually leads to one of the like most sad scenes I've seen in a while. It was like really, literally, Marina bawled her eyes out.
That's a good sign. I'm going to have to check this movie out very soon.
That's very good.
But
Very
for
good.
everybody else, we will have a lot of new stuff coming up. We'll be back next week. If you want to check us out on Twitter at Furloughed Film and on Instagram at Furloughed Film Talks. But everybody, thank you for checking out this episode, and we'll talk with you next time.
Adios, amigos.